Hi, welcome back to RECAPEDIA. In this episode, we're going to recap the movie Wolf Warrior 2. Please relax and enjoy the spoiler ride. Following the events of Wolf Warrior, Lin Feng returns his killed comrade's remains to his hometown with the help of other members of his special operations team. A real estate corporation is about to demolish their home as the family gets ready for the burial. The real estate firm's owner confronts Feng and his staff for their patriotism and snares at them, getting kicked to the ground in the process. The boss sends his men to assault them, but Feng and his squad quickly beat them all down. Soon after, the police show there and tell Feng to stop. After standing back up, the boss declares that he will make the family wish they were dead, which infuriates Feng and leads to the boss's murder. After serving 2 years in military jail, Feng is then released from the Chinese army. Feng departs for Africa after being released from prison with the intention of traveling aimlessly over the continent. While working as a mercenary to protect a vessel carrying aid to Africa, he stops a Somalian pirate hijacking attempt by engaging the pirates in hand-to-hand battle underwater. The fighter reaches his destination with no harm. Feng has been carrying a bullet he discovered for 3 years because it contained information about the mission-related kidnapping of his fiancée, Lieutenant Colonel Long Ziayang. While Feng and a few locals are having a beach party, they are attacked by rebel fighters trying to overthrow the Somalian government. Shortly after the rebels and their mercenaries overcome the government troops, a Chinese flotilla arrives to evacuate Chinese people caught up in a civil war. While they are aboard a Chinese military ship, Feng is informed by a store owner he saved earlier that the bullet he is carrying belonged to European mercenaries aiding the rebels. Feng offers to save VIP Dr. Chen, who has been kept captive at a neighboring hospital, and workers at the Chinese industry with the intent of finding and getting revenge on the owner of the bullet. Dr. Chen is working on a vaccine for a deadly endemic illness, La. Feng, however, will go alone on the rescue mission. Because they were on foreign soil and had to wait for approval from the Chinese military higher authority, no Chinese military personnel would accompany him. The rebels and their mercenaries accidentally shoot Dr. Chen before the arrival of Feng. Feng faces off with the rebels in an attempt to rescue the hostages. Dr. Chen, who is dying, orders Feng to take his daughter, Pasha, who is an African. Big Daddy, a violent American working for the Young Corps, is in charge of the mercenaries. After being chased by Big Daddy's mercenaries, Feng manages to escape with Pasha and one doctor who was working with Dr. Chen on the vaccine, Raquel Smith. Along the way, their car crashes and Feng casts sun on some dead bodies that have been infected with the La virus. Feng ignores all warnings from Raquel that he is likely to be infected with the virus through the cat. Feng travels on to the Chinese-owned handbound factory in order to save the workers and his godson's mother, who also works there. When Feng arrives, the suspicious factory security team, led by Zhou Yifan, an arrogant Fueda youngster and ardent supporter of the Chinese army, confronts him. Yifan allows Feng inside the factory, and everyone is told by Feng that a Chinese helicopter will be sent to rescue them. Everyone else will go by road to join the fleet, while the women and kids are helicoptered out. While jubilating about the news of their incoming rescue, the factory is attacked by mercenaries from Big Daddy in an effort to take Pasha prisoner because they think she has Lamella's cure. Feng mobilizes the workers to stand up for their fellow manufacturing workers and their families against Big Daddy's mercenaries. As Feng continues to fight Big Daddy's mercenaries, he is weakened by the La illness, as it turns out that he got infected through the cat, as Raquel foreseen. Feng manages to hold his ground against Big Daddy and his soldiers, but is nearly overpowered and killed when Big Daddy and his soldiers are surprisingly told to retreat by the rebel commander. The rebel commander wants Big Daddy not to injure any Chinese people because as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, China will be crucial to his success if he assumes power. Enraged, Big Daddy kills the rebel commander and he commands everyone to return to the factory in order to catch Pasha and murder Feng. The factory workers learn that Feng has the lethal La virus and Feng decides to leave. When Dr. Raquel Smith administers the serum injection to Feng, he discovers that Dr. Chen had devised a treatment utilizing sick patients who had survived and developed immunity. Pasha is the only infected patient who has survived with immunity, but not Dr. Chen's daughter. Big Daddy and his men return and gather up the industrial workers who were waiting for the Chinese helicopter to arrive when Feng makes a comeback in an effort to save Pasha and Raquel. After the workers are saved, the helicopter shows up. Pasha, Raquel, and the other women and kids takes off the helicopter, but it is shot down. Feng and his comrades are engaged in continuing battle against armies of the Young Corps mercenaries and the rebels who have been busted with several tanks. After observing a significant battle fatalities, the Chinese fleet launches missiles to destroy the tanks. In the final moments of the battle, Finn confronts Big Daddy and discovers that Big Daddy was the owner of the bullet that murdered Xia Yang. After a brutal fight, he kills Big Daddy because of his wrath. The survivors are then driven by Finn in a convoy through a rebel-held territory in the UN camp. In the scene during the middle of the credits, Finn is given permission by his commander to rejoin his military squadron and is then shown a video that reveals Xia Yang is still alive. The end. Hope you enjoyed this recap. Kindly subscribe to this channel for more amazing recap videos like these. Don't forget to also like this video and leave your thoughts and recommendations in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.